Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' worldwide PDA tour is backfiring, just as Marvel is now getting desperate, trying to avoid sending Justin Baldoni all the Nicepool details.
Ryan Reynolds is throwing the ultimate meltdown after Marvel exposed him over the Nicepool chaos.
He is such a hypocrite.
The pressure's eating him alive, and now he's stuck pretending to defend Blake while she drags his career through red carpet disasters. He's not standing by her. He's just stuck in the mess she made.
There, too, would still clearly be relevant to, among other things, the question of Reynolds' alleged malice.
It's real, it's messy, and it's hilarious. If you're not him. The guy built a career on breaking the fourth wall, and now he's crashing face first into one made entirely of subpoenas. You'd think the man who markets gin, soccer clubs, and mobile services with a smirk would know how to handle a scandal. Nope. He's spiraling like a badly written side character who thinks he's still the star.
This type of strategy, flooding the market with appearances as an attempt to show normalcy and appearing unbothered or unaffected by the drama, is typically not well advised in crisis response planning.
Now, let's talk about his lovely wife, Blake Lively. Hollywood's Pinterest board, come to life, has officially dragged Marvel Studios into her glitter-glazed chaos. Seriously, Marvel, the studio that managed to keep Endgame under wraps, is now getting roasted because Blake Lively couldn't resist another staged photo op.
Now, Marvel has now responded and said, nah, we're not doing anything. We're not taking this seriously. Enough is enough.
From the Time 100 gala, where they acted like royalty, to casually hopping continents like climate pledges are just TikTok trends, the hypocrisy is straight up cinematic. But don't worry. Ryan signed that UN climate-conscious pledge just before racking up 3 transatlantic flights in 7 days. 3. In 1 week. Bro, even Iron Man flew less. But hey, maybe they thought the solution to being exposed in a lawsuit was to smother the internet with forced PDA. Kiss it till it goes away, right? Except no. This ain't 2014.
That Reynolds was told to kiss her before she gave her speech. When the public sees Blake and Ryan looking lovey-dovey at the event, but then goes on TikTok and sees a video about a lip reader sharing that Blake ordered Ryan to kiss her, for instance, it creates mistrust in the couple.
The public isn't dumb anymore. According to PR strategist Kara Shimmerman, yes, an actual expert, unlike Ryan's in-house yes men, their flood-the-market tactic was a walking billboard of desperation. All those red carpet smooches, all those giggles that looked like they came from a badly rehearsed rom-com, they didn't land. They crashed.
They've been jetting back and forth, apparently across the ocean, like 3 times in less than a week. A month after Ryan Reynolds did the UN Climate Conscious Pledge. He is such a hypocrite.
And then the internet did what it does best. It turned every moment into digital evidence. Lip readers on TikTok, yes, literal lip readers, suggested Blake actually ordered Ryan to kiss her, as in, she gave him the signal like a director cueing a scene. If that isn't the final blow to the "we're couple goals" narrative, I don't know what is. Reddit's going full forensic, digging through every blink and sigh. People are calling it the Blake and Ryan illusion. You can't even make that up.
The public can be forgiving, but they need time and a reason to forgive and forget. Blake and Ryan seem to be continuing to fan the flames, and it is not landing particularly well for all circles.
Even their own fans are creating fan theories. Not about Deadpool, but about how their marriage is one Marvel cameo away from collapse. Now here's where it gets straight up embarrassing. Justin Baldoni, aka the guy Ryan's allegedly mocking through a Deadpool character named Nicepool, has had enough.
Marvel is now in the mix, trying to deny Justin his right to figure out if Nicepool was indeed a malicious attempt by Ryan Reynolds.
Baldoni's legal team is basically saying that Ryan turned Deadpool and Wolverine into a Mean Girl diary. They believe Nicepool wasn't just a quirky background joke, but a full-blown dig meant to humiliate. And honestly, it tracks. Deadpool's entire brand is roasting people. Guess Ryan forgot that real-life lawsuits aren't scripted.
If you ever watched bad lip reading, you can absolutely make something else look like what they said. So you got to be careful. But this is what they're trying to say. They're saying Reynolds said to Blake, "I should be there. I need to shine right now." That was what apparently, and then said, "You need to understand what I am saying to you right now."
Marvel, bless their secretive little hearts, got subpoenaed for any and all communications about this shady character. And how did they respond? Not with grace, not with transparency. No. They screamed confidential, like someone caught peeking at the answers during an exam.
The requested documents are particularly sensitive because they relate to the development of a character in an ongoing movie franchise.
Their excuse? That it would expose sensitive materials from an ongoing franchise. Bruh, the movie is out. Nicepool died in the first film. He is not coming back for Endgame Part 2.
And that scenes with Nicepool were intended to be a transparent and mocking portrayal of Reynolds' warped perception of Baldoni. The subpoena calls for the production of all documents and communications concerning the creation, development, modification, or portrayal of the character Nicepool from Deadpool Wolverine.
The subpoena wasn't even asking for everything. It was narrowed down to documents involving Reynolds, Baldoni, and Nicepool. That's it. But Marvel acted like someone was trying to leak the next Avengers lineup. Like, please, no one cares about your CGI raccoon right now. We're here for the drama Ryan created with his passive-aggressive pen.
Is that realistic? Do we buy it? Because I'm on the fence. What I want to talk about now, which we're also going to talk in more depth during the live, is this Marvel dispute. Now, Marvel has now responded and said, nah, we're not doing anything. We're not taking this seriously.
So, what does this say about Ryan? Simple. He's not just in hot water, he is the fire. And Marvel's trying to contain the blaze with a paper cup. The whole studio now looks like it's held together by NDAs and panic attacks, thanks to one actor who can't separate his ego from his script notes.
And this information is closely guarded by Marvel. You mean like when you put all those chairs and told us about all of the characters that are appearing in the next movie, we can't learn about the previous behind the scenes on Marvel? I gotta get up. There's literally a book on it.
And while all this legal smoke is rising, even Ryan's so-called friends are vanishing like Marvel's Phase 4 plotlines. Enter Travis Kelce. The NFL star and certified Swiftie boyfriend of Taylor Swift just hit the unfollow button on Ryan Reynolds. In 2025, that's basically the digital version of throwing hands. Even more embarrassing, Ryan still follows him back. That's not friendship, that's desperation.
Travis unfollowed Ryan because he is fed up with the whole drama.
Now, why did Travis hit eject? Because Taylor Swift was reportedly going to be subpoenaed too, and allegedly Ryan had been throwing a little pressure her way behind closed doors.
You know, Blake Lively has been using her and using her power and influence.
Travis said no thanks, unfollowed him, and left the internet in flames. It wasn't petty. It was surgical. No Instagram stories, no shade, just a clean break that screamed, "I'm not going down with your sinking ship."
This is a big statement. Of course it is. Why would he all of a sudden unfollow Ryan Reynolds? He is, as you know, Taylor Swift's boyfriend, and Taylor Swift is supposed to be subpoenaed.
This isn't some light Hollywood drama. This is a full-blown implosion. Ryan is now the guy who can't even keep his celebrity friends on his follower list. He's melting down in public, with Marvel ducking courtrooms, TikTok roasting every blink he makes, and even NFL stars fleeing the scene.
The global PDA tour between Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds is absolutely backfiring.
And right next to him, still posing with her hand on his chest like it's a perfume ad, is Blake Lively, the woman who's somehow convinced she can PR spin her way out of legal risk, while her husband is busy mocking people on screen and then crying confidentiality off screen. The hypocrisy is astounding. These two are not power players. They're brand mascots who lost the plot. And the worst part, they still think they're winning.
Nice try, Disney. Nice try. Marvel's confidentiality concerns are heightened because of this. Court has observed the details of this case have been closely followed by the media. The parties that have accused opposing parties of providing private, sensitive, and confidential information to the media in ways that cannot easily be traced. Look at them. They're using Blake's lingo now.
Let's get into the moment that shook Instagram harder than a Kardashian filter glitch. Travis Kelce unfollowed Ryan Reynolds. On April 28, 2025, fans noticed it. The NFL's golden retriever boyfriend of Taylor Swift just hit the button. That's it. No press release, no interview, just the unfollow. And in 2025, that's louder than any TMZ headline. It's digital exile.
Who says that Travis unfollowed Ryan because he is fed up with the whole drama. And he continues to say it's not just about the spectacle of it all. Travis is concerned that he could potentially be questioned too, since he was with Taylor as some of this was going down.
Now let's be clear. Travis isn't some PR puppet. He doesn't do Hollywood loyalty packs. He's not trying to keep up with the fake elite club of red carpet whisperers. And yet even he had enough of the mess.
He was following Ryan Reynolds until yesterday, and also Ryan Reynolds is still following him.
Remember, Taylor Swift, his girlfriend, global sensation, subpoena magnet, was being dragged into the Baldoni-Reynolds legal war. And the theory going around? Ryan Reynolds allegedly put pressure on her behind closed doors. Oh, Ryan, always trying to play 4D chess when you're not even qualified for Connect 4?
As we know, Taylor and Blake have been close friends for a long time. There's a video of the two couples going on double dates together. So they were pretty close, I can imagine.
So what did Travis do? The most powerful move possible. Unfollow the dude. And what made it even more tragic? Ryan still follows Travis. It's giving desperate ex who can't take a hint. Honestly, it's painful. The guy who once roasted Hugh Jackman like a pro can't even read a social cue now. One-sided follows in 2025 aren't just awkward, they're embarrassing. Like showing up to a party you weren't invited to and still thinking you're the main event.
Ryan Reynolds had put a little pressure on Taylor Swift in regards to the subpoena and her being deposed by Brian Friedman. And she felt uncomfortable about it. And then her boyfriend stepped in and thought, you know, what can we do about it? We don't want to go public.
And insiders didn't hold back either. Sources told Daily Mail that Travis wanted nothing to do with this circus. He's not about to let himself or Taylor be thrown under the bus just so Ryan and Blake can keep faking smiles on red carpets.
It's completely over. There's been speculations lately in all the Blake Lively friendly magazines saying that, oh, they mended their friendship. No, I don't think they're going to come back from this, because what she has done to Taylor Swift is being really disloyal.
Travis isn't fake, they said, which is more than we can say for Ryan's entire public image at this point. The guy has gone from funniest man alive to that one dude who ruins the group chat vibe. It's honestly impressive how fast his stock dropped.
And then he says Travis is not fake, and he's not going to pretend to be bros with someone who could throw him or Taylor under the bus. I think he's doing this for Taylor. Maybe I'm romantic, but I feel like he is. You know, this is a favor to her to say, you know, so she doesn't have to take a stand against Blake.
Now, speaking of red carpets, let's take a good hard look at Blake Lively's recent disaster piece theater. You'd think, after all these years in the spotlight, she'd know not to sweat on camera, literally. But nope. At her latest appearance, she showed up with armpit stains from self-tanner.
It happens to everyone. I don't like trashing people over wardrobe malfunctions because we all had them, but it didn't look that great because she had, like, you know, stains from, I think, self-tanning under her armpits. So I'm sure that some stylist or makeup artist is going to be yelled at, or was already yelled at, and maybe fired.
Yes, Blake out curated perfection. Lively looked like she hugged a Dorito bag. The glam malfunction was caught in glorious 4K across multiple media outlets, and the internet did not hold back.
The issue for Blake and Ryan's image is that a large portion of the public no longer gets their information solely from media outlets, but from social media and online commentators.
But it gets better. While People magazine ran their usual fluff piece about how she's focusing on family, she was photographed doing everything except that. Press tours, soccer fields, gala events, not a kid in sight. If she's focusing on her family, maybe someone should tell her that flying to 3 events a week isn't what present parenting looks like. Unless by family, she means her stylist team and legal advisors.
What was going on the red carpet between Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds during the Another Sip of Flavor premiere? I was looking at some of the footage, and especially one that someone pointed out. Doesn't it look like Ryan Reynolds had a drink too many in this video? And yeah, I agree. It looks like he was kind of a little bit all over the place, and Blake was in control.
Which brings us to the premiere of Another Simple Favor, or, as fans are now calling it, the scene of the crime. Ryan showed up looking like he pre-gamed with 3 gin shots and a Nyquil chaser. He looked buzzed or off balance, take your pick, but he definitely didn't look like a man in control. And once again, Blake was dragging him around like a reluctant mannequin, telling him where to stand, how to pose, probably when to blink.
They're saying Reynolds said to Blake, "I should be there. I need to shine right now." That was what apparently, and then said, "You need to understand what I am saying to you right now." Now, if that's true, that sounds very bad and controlling.
Judy James, body language expert and accidental couples therapist to the stars, told Daily Mail that the entire event was oozing staged intimacy with undertones of tension. Translation: they looked like 2 strangers cosplaying as a married couple. You could practically hear the teeth grinding under their forced smiles.
Goes on TikTok and sees a video about a lip reader sharing that Blake ordered Ryan to kiss her. For instance, it creates mistrust in the couple and plants seeds of doubt that their relationship is staged.
And then came the whispers. No, not sweet nothings. More like damage control dialogue. Their signature red carpet pose, faces close together, whispering like it's a Valentine's Day ad. But TikTok wasn't buying it. Users zoomed in, slowed it down, analyzed every twitch.
And you guys are just doing every step wrong. Every step wrong. Why won't you talk to someone else neutral on the side? You need help. This damage control is not working.
What they saw, micro expressions of pure frustration. Blake looked visibly annoyed. Ryan looked lost. Again. He even stepped on her dress multiple times. Which honestly is the most relatable thing he's done lately, but for her, that was probably grounds for murder.
Confidential. Load of BS.
People aren't calling them Hollywood's It Couple anymore. They're calling them the showmance. And it fits. Everything they do now feels like a performance. Just one where the actors forgot their lines and the director quit halfway through. The internet has dubbed their current PR routine as glitching. And they're not wrong. You can practically see the buffering wheel above Ryan's head as Blake shoves him into the camera's good side.
I agree. It looks like he was kind of a little bit all over the place, and Blake was in control.
This isn't just a failed PR tour. It's a front row ticket to a slow motion collapse. Every red carpet appearance feels like the sequel no one asked for. And Ryan? He's not just being dragged by his wife. He's being dragged by reality, by the internet, by his peers, and by Travis Kelce's unfollow. And if that isn't poetic justice, I don't know what is.
And we are so disappointed in the way you're handling this. You may have feelings, you may believe your wife, but you gotta step back at a certain point and go, maybe we did the wrong move here. Maybe we are not fully understanding this, the entire situation here. Maybe Blake did also make some mistakes.
So Ryan Reynolds went from being Hollywood's quick-witted charmer to the guy dodging accountability by turning every interview into a game of Mad Libs. Case in point, his Sky Sports interview after Wrexham's win.
And of course, Ryan Reynolds had to bring in storytelling in this interview as well about his soccer team.
What we're lucky to do is be as storytellers.
It's all about storytelling. Remember he said that when he was interviewed on stage?
I give a lot of talks to students about storytelling.
He was asked a legitimate question, something about regrets. And instead of giving a thoughtful answer like a grown adult, he pulled out his trusty little coping mechanism, a joke, and not even a good one. He said, and I quote, "Yes, buying a boat. Wow. Shakespeare could never."
Travis does not have people in his life that he feels are not authentic. Good for you, Kels. I respect him for doing that. So many people are just like, pretending that everything's okay because they don't want to take a stand in case it backfires on them personally.
Now, if you're wondering why that's relevant, let's break it down. That wasn't just a quirky Ryanism. It was a very pointed jab at Colin Jost, aka Scarlett Johansson's husband, who literally just said in an interview that his biggest regret was, you guessed it, buying a boat. So Ryan, in all his bitter, insecure glory, decided to throw shade mid-interview. Imagine being so salty that you use your soccer team's press coverage as a platform to take shots at a comedian who wasn't even in the room.
It's what he said when he was asked if, he regretted or something like that, buying a football team, and he answered this.
Right, yes. Or buy a boat. That's another dumb thing you could do.
Yeah, guess who just came out and said their biggest mistake or the dumbest thing they did was buying a boat.
And the worst part? People saw right through it. No one bought the whole, "Aw shucks, I'm just goofing around" vibe. Gossip accounts instantly flagged it as a calculated dig. X, formerly Twitter, lit up with posts like, "Did he really just come for Colin unprovoked?" and "Ryan's drowning and dragging everyone with him." And you know what? They're right. This isn't humor. It's the PR version of trying to throw glitter on a dumpster fire. Meanwhile, fans aren't distracted by his circus act. Instead, they're asking one very simple question. Where are your kids? Like, actually, where are they? Ryan and Blake love to parade around talking about how family is everything, but somehow these mystery children are never seen. Not at games, not in candid shots, not even in paparazzi photos. And no, that one blurry stroller shot from 6 months ago doesn't count. It's giving invisible family vibes. Maybe they're too busy being raised by the nanny squad, while mom and dad are off posing on carpets and doing whisper fights in front of flashbulbs.
Ryan and Blake are so busy with their new PR strategy and campaign, walking around on the red carpet, posing the whole time, or flying to soccer games in Wales. Where are their 4 children that she's focusing on right now?
People are sick of the faux humility. Ryan keeps trying to serve up this brand of tortured genius mixed with goofy husband energy, and the audience is done pretending it's charming. The deflections don't feel light anymore. They feel desperate. This is the same man who used to mock celebrities for being out of touch, and now he's become the blueprint. Every soundbite, every smirk, every staged laugh is now met with collective exhaustion. We get it, Ryan. You're funny. But where's the substance? It's rhetorical, because there is none.
According to sources in People magazine, Blake Lively is completely focusing on her family. Well, it doesn't look like that. Let's put it that way. Blake is focusing on her image and on Ryan's image.
And now, the fallout is starting to get loud. Insiders from Popcorn Planet said it best. Friends of the couple are distancing themselves. And not because they're too busy, but because they're scared. Scared that this lawsuit mess is going to explode so badly that they'll get dragged into it. And honestly, that's valid. When you're dealing with people who turn movie characters into alleged real-life mockery tools, you have to ask yourself, how far are they willing to go?
The requested documents are produced with the highest level of confidentiality permitted by the protective order. There remains serious risk that they will just be disclosed to the public. Oh my God, we can't tell everybody that Nicepool is coming back for doomsday, as if that's happening. Give me a break.
PR analysts and legal experts are already warning that even a single whiff of insincerity could be weaponized in court. All those red carpet giggles, the staged kisses, the hand choreography. Yeah, Baldoni's team could point to that as evidence of a pattern, of manipulation, of image faking, of character assassination dressed up as PR. This isn't just awkward celebrity drama anymore, it's legal ammunition.
Blake was then pictured placing a hand on Ryan's cheek and said, "Kiss me one more time," which then he did, shared a kiss, and then he got up to do the speech.
Even co-stars like Anna Kendrick might end up in the crosshairs. Yep, Anna Kendrick, Miss Cup Song herself, could get subpoenaed simply for working with Blake. Imagine being forced to sit in a courtroom and testify about how your co-star blinked at you on set. That's the level of absurdity we're reaching here. And guess who created that climate? Ryan Reynolds and his walking brand machine of a wife. And don't even get me started on Paul Feig.
I'd be remiss to not say there were some distractions over the last couple of months. How did that affect you?
Oh, nothing. We're fine. I mean, everybody's just doing their thing. We had such a great time making this, and, people are so excited about the movie that's all that matters.
The man's been promoting another simple favor and apparently had to disable the comment section on the trailer. That's not normal. That's fear. That's the kind of energy you give off when you know your audience is already sharpening their knives.
I don't think everything's fine, Paul Feig, and this just makes you look fake.
Studios are supposed to feel confident when they release trailers. Instead, they're shutting off comments like they're trying to hide spoilers. Only the spoiler here is the cast itself.
I mean, seriously, why is he lying? Has he ever promoted a film that he's done where he had to close off the comment section when he released the trailer of the movie?
Even former allies, friends, co-workers, publicists are reportedly going silent. One insider told Popcorn Planet, "They're terrified. This legal mess might reveal more than anyone wants." That's code for we've all seen too much. You know it's bad when people in Hollywood, a city built on secrets, are scared that this mess might blow everything open. And here's the poetic part. This whole disaster started with a couple who built their empire on charm and relatability. Now, they're walking courtroom punchlines. What began as Instagram flirtations and matching Met Gala outfits has morphed into subpoena threats, failed PR stunts, and whisper analysis on TikTok. And Ryan? He's gone from being Hollywood's witty sweetheart to the guy who can't take a joke unless he's the one delivering it. Travis Kelce's unfollow wasn't just petty, it was the loudest silence we've heard. Marvel's refusal to hand over documents doesn't scream confidentiality. It screams shame. And Ryan's little boat joke? It's the cherry on top of a very bitter, very public meltdown Sunday. If this is what the Deadpool era has come to, then it's not ending in a bang. It's ending in subpoena confetti, broken NDAs, and a reputation spiraling faster than a Marvel multiverse plot. This saga's far from over. So hit that subscribe button and buckle up, because the real show's just getting started.